Kelly Ripa turned 55 with a birthday unlike any she has celebrated before. It wasn't just the milestone number that made the day feel bigger, brighter, and somehow more daring. It was the way the talk show host, actress, and pop culture icon chose to mark the occasion, with a bold embrace of solitude, a fearless approach to style, and a proud acknowledgement of her 30 years lighting up America's television screens. For a woman who has spent most of her adult life in front of cameras, this birthday was less about spectacle and more about reclaiming her space while still dazzling the world. A star at 55, Kelly Ripa has always been defined by her duality, approachable yet glamorous, candid yet disciplined, funny yet sharp. At 55, she seems to have reached a balance that only comes with experience. For her, this birthday was not about looking back wistfully at the past or desperately clinging to youth. Instead, it was about redefining boldness, not as an act of rebellion, but as a steady confidence in knowing who she is and what she wants. "Turning 55 doesn't scare me," she shared in an interview leading up to the celebration. "What scares me is the idea of not living authentically. At this point in my life, boldness is about honesty, boundaries, and sometimes saying no." That philosophy played out across her birthday in unexpected ways. Choosing alone time over glitz. Kelly's fans may have expected a grand star-studded party, given her decades of connections in Hollywood and New York. But instead, she opted for quiet solitude in the morning hours. She confessed she wanted her day to start with silence, a rarity for someone whose career revolves around conversation. She spent her morning walking through Central Park, unrecognized under oversized sunglasses and a chic trench coat, sipping her favorite green tea and letting the fall air brush across her face. For Kelly, that moment was not about hiding from fame but rather savoring time with herself. "I love my family, I love my friends, but sometimes the boldest thing you can do is to enjoy your own company," she later told viewers. By midday, her husband Mark Consuelos and their 3 children had joined her for a small, private lunch in their New York apartment. It was intimate and heartfelt, filled with laughter, old stories, and even a few playful jabs about her legendary punctuality, or lack thereof. Unlike the elaborate parties of years past, this year was about intention, not excess. Bold fashion risks at 55. But Kelly being Kelly, her day couldn't pass without a little glamour. In the evening, she debuted what has already been called her most daring birthday look yet. She arrived at a dinner celebration with close friends in a sleek, metallic gown with structured shoulders, bold cutouts, and sky-high heels. It was a statement. She wasn't retreating from risk just because she hit a new milestone. In fact, she leaned into it. Throughout her career, Kelly has been known for experimenting with fashion. From her soap opera starlet days on All My Children to her current role as morning television queen, she's often been a style chameleon. At 55, she's not softening into conservative choices, she's doubling down on boldness. "I don't believe in fashion rules by age," she explained during a recent segment on Live with Kelly and Mark. "If something makes me feel alive and confident, that's the only rule I need." That philosophy has made her a style icon to women of all ages. She's shown that reinvention doesn't have an expiration date and that elegance and risk can coexist beautifully. 30 years on air, a career of bold choices. Perhaps the most poignant part of her birthday was the reflection on her career. This year also marked 3 decades since she first appeared on Live, originally alongside Regis Philbin. Few stars sustain relevance for that long, and even fewer evolve as gracefully as she has. Kelly began her career as Haley Vaughn on All My Children, where she quickly became a fan favorite. But it was her transition to morning television that cemented her legacy. When she joined Regis in 2001, she was seen as a gamble, younger, bubbly, and very different from her predecessor. But over time, she proved not only her staying power but her ability to reinvent the format itself. Over the years, she's co-hosted with Regis, Michael Strahan, Ryan Seacrest, and now her husband, Mark. Each era has brought new challenges, from live TV gaffes to behind-the-scenes controversies. But Kelly has remained a constant, using her sharp humor, relatability, and charisma to connect with millions of viewers every day. She has also weathered criticisms with remarkable resilience. When critics questioned her ability to lead the show after Regis' retirement, she doubled down, showing that she was more than capable of carrying it. When rumors swirled about tensions with co-hosts, she addressed them head-on with honesty rather than retreat. These moments revealed her true boldness, not in avoiding conflict, but in handling it with transparency and wit. Redefining boldness as balance. Kelly's birthday wasn't just about solitude and style. It was also about balance, a theme she has spoken about increasingly in recent years. With her children now grown and her marriage stronger than ever, she's learning to carve out a life that isn't only defined by work. I used to think boldness meant doing everything, saying yes to everything, and always being on, she reflected. Now I realize boldness is knowing when to stop, when to rest, when to say no. That shift is evident in her personal life. She and Mark recently shared that they prioritize no phone dinners at home, where technology is put aside and conversation is the focus. She also practices daily meditation, something she once laughed at but now credits with keeping her centered in the whirlwind of fame. Fans celebrate with her. As always, her fans played a major role in her celebration. Social media was flooded with tributes, clips from her funniest live moments, and throwbacks to her soap opera days. Hashtags like #BoldAt55 and #HappyBirthdayKelly trended, showcasing just how much affection the public holds for her. Many praised her for being open about aging in an industry obsessed with youth. "Kelly doesn't try to be 25, one fan tweeted. She shows us how to be fabulous at 55. Others highlighted her role as a trailblazer for women in television, noting that she has inspired an entire generation of broadcasters. The future at 55 and beyond. If Kelly's birthday proved anything, it's that she's not slowing down. She has hinted at several projects outside of live, including a possible return to scripted television, a memoir-style book about her years in the industry, and even more producing behind the scenes. Her company, Milaho Productions, which she co-founded with Mark, continues to develop content across platforms. Still, she's careful not to let her career overshadow her life. "I'm proud of what I've done, but I'm also proud of the fact that I can sit at home in sweatpants with my husband and kids and feel just as fulfilled," she said. That balance, between bold public risks and quiet private joys, may be her greatest legacy yet. A birthday that spoke volumes. Kelly Ripa's 55th birthday wasn't defined by extravagance or spectacle. It was defined by choice. The choice to spend time alone, to take risks with style, to celebrate her 30-year career with gratitude, and to redefine what boldness looks like at midlife. Her day reminded fans that boldness doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers in the quiet moments, sparkles in a metallic gown, or shines through 30 years of laughter on morning TV. At 55, Kelly Ripa is proof that boldness is not about age. It's about attitude, authenticity, and the courage to keep evolving. And if this birthday is any indication, Kelly Ripa's boldest years are still ahead.